Good morning, my name is Wiz, and it is my life mission to give you a toast to characters that deserve recognition. Today, I'll be giving a toast to Capcom's and Hideaki Itsuno's Nero from Devil May Cry 5. Voice acted by Johnny Young Boss and Kaito Ishikawa. This character demonstrates the journey a young hero goes through as they find themselves split between right and wrong. Without further ado, grab your coffee and let's savor this character.
What? No chit-chat or monologue? Just getting right to the point, huh?
In the beginning of Devil May Cry 5, we see that Nero has undergone several changes, from cutting his hair and giving him a look of his own, to making it clear that Nero's Devilbringer was taken from him. The scene in which this obvious but mysterious figure tears Nero's arm from his body is incredibly gruesome, leaving the audience to wonder where our hero will go next. Seeing as Nero heavily relied on his Devilbringer in Devil May Cry 4, it was absolutely fascinating seeing him deal with this loss. Through his interactions with other characters, we can see that he begins to doubt his own capabilities as a warrior. While he still appears to be confident through his one-liners, there is no doubt that Nero is trying to hide his emotions. We can see and feel Nero's anguish in the cinematics in the beginning and end of a mission. He is deliberately trying to keep his sorrow and thoughts to himself instead of turning to those around him. The animators and especially the voice actor, Johnny Young Bosk, did an incredible job portraying Nero's sorrow and doubts when he speaks. We can hear Nero's anger as he is unable to hold his own against Urizen, blaming him for robbing his strength.
Stop hitting yourself and think of ways to get stronger and actually help. If Dante loses, you're all that can defeat Urizen.
What this effectively does is give Nero purpose. He now has his own personal reasons for fighting instead of just trying to save the damsel in distress. He is no longer just a hero. He is a person who has undergone a traumatic event and is trying, unsuccessfully, to cope with his loss. There's a shadow that looms over our young hero, a lesson we all face. He took for granted what he never thought he would lose. This is further intensified when Dante, a person he admires, refers to him as dead weight.
I can still fight!
Go! You're just dead weight!
Back up!
Seeing these two words echo in his ear, taking hold of his last shred of confidence, leaves him feeling like a burden. This was absolutely brilliant, stripping away the one tool he so desperately relied on and forcing him to find his own strength was necessary for him to grow and reach his potential. As he goes on this journey, Nero is haunted by the shadow of the past few months. He tries again and again to prove himself, not just to Dante, but most importantly, himself. He begins to walk a path we did not expect, craving for more power instead of finding peace within himself.
Without strength, you can't protect anything. I know that.
This scene illustrates and echoes to the moment when Nero first held the Yamato in Devil May Cry 4, when all he could think about was wanting more power. There's a side of him in which there is a compulsive hunger, possibly foreshadowing events yet to come for our hero. This moment makes it evidently clear that Nero is not a one-shaded protagonist who is pure. Like all of us, he has imperfections. There's a side to him that is incredibly dangerous, not just to those around him, but to himself. We have seen through Virgil how this desire for more power not only takes a hold of a person's life, but can ultimately be their own undoing. With his relationship with V, he is constantly coming to his aid. He does not do it out of necessity, but an urge to help those who are in need. As V's body slowly crumbles, he does what Kyrie has taught him. He gives his ear to someone who needs their voice heard before it is too late. Time and time again, he faces obstacles he could not previously overcome and eventually prevails. However, no amount of power could have given him the strength he needed when it was revealed that Virgil was in fact his father.
My father.
While he is originally filled with anger and anguish at this revelation, we see our hero turn to the one person who truly understands him, Kyrie. Kyrie is a beacon that reminds Nero of his humility. He's not just a demon hunter, but a human being who can't always live with himself. Through the conversation, we discover that Nero has always wanted a family he can call his own. Feeling outcasted and alone as a child, Nero turned to Kratos and Kyrie for comfort. There's a subtle change in his tone as he puts down his guard, With her, he's completely vulnerable, emotional, and honest. He admits that he doesn't know what he should do and is not afraid to ask her for help. She doesn't tell him a definite answer. Instead, she encourages him and reminds him that deep down, there's a power far greater than the Devil Bringer. A power he always knew he had. A will to persevere. In perhaps one of the most heart-wrenching moments in this game, we discover Nero's reason for more power. We see that he has been holding onto an immeasurable weight that we were not aware of. It was not the loss of his arm, but the loss of his dear friend and brother Kratos that has haunted him through the course of this game.
I couldn't protect Kratos. To this day, I hate myself for not having enough strength. But this time is different. I swear! I'm not letting you die!
With the memory of Kratos losing his life to save his sister Kyrie and his friend and brother Nero, our hero looks onward. He comes to the resolution that the purpose of power is not to simply defeat others. This is symbolic to the events of Devil May Cry 4, in which Nero reached his hand out as Kratos fell, but was unable to save him. We have seen this before, when he tried to grasp Kyrie's hand as she faded from his view, marking the second time he had witnessed losing a loved one. Perhaps Nero is now trying to grasp onto the image of his family before that too fades away. Determined to prevent the past from repeating and letting another one of his family members die, Nero confronts Dante and Virgil. Similar to a parent separating siblings fighting over an argument, Nero stands before them. He portrays how much he has grown since the beginning of the game, as he is now the one who reminds them the importance of family. The way his eyes peers into Virgil's is unquestionable. Through his gaze, he reveals to the audience his urgency to prove himself to the father he had never known. He is similar to Virgil in more ways than one. They are both impatient, incredibly stubborn, and seek power to protect those they love. However, this is where the two are different. While Virgil finds power through strength and intellect, Nero discovers it through love. By choosing to forgive instead of seek revenge against Virgil, Nero has learned a lesson in humility. He discovers that power is far more than just brute strength. It is a heart to understand and forgive. Forgive himself for not being able to protect Kratos and to understand his father's intentions.
You can't just expect me to stay here while you both go
It's
in.
because you're here we can go. We're trusting you with things on this side. Capiche?
This game is very much a coming-of-age story for our hero. Nero has come a long way as a character. He is no longer the young and hot-headed warrior from Devil May Cry 4, but a person trying to find himself in the world. In the final moments of the game, it is Nico who reminds Nero that being part demon does not define him, that it is okay to cry in front of those who care for him and fully embrace who he is. Nero reminds us that we all experience a journey and face obstacles that we can't always overcome on our own. He has finally become the hero we all knew he was capable of, and more. We knew Nero the demon hunter, and now we know Nero the grandson of Sparta, Virgil's legacy. Before we finish our coffee and begin our day, I would like to personally say thank you to the game director, Hideaki Itsuno, the lead game designer, Yoshiro Kita, and the writer, Bingo Morihashi, for making this game come to life. You have all done an excellent job crafting a character we won't forget. From our hearts to yours, thank you so much. To my audience, what did you think of Nero after playing Devil May Cry 5? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, possibly leave a like and subscribe for more. This is Wiz, and I'm all out of toast.